Okay, let's talk about sidechaining. This is how I sidechain in FL Studio. Um, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but I personally like to use the routing method through the mixer. Um, I've seen a lot of people you can just create an automation clip with the volume fader and you can kind of draw out your sidechain that way. That totally works, but this is kind of a way to do it automatically with the signal itself. So let me show you what I have going on here. I'm just going to turn off the limiter on all of these so we don't get any sidechain. Okay. So that's without sidechain. Now listen to the difference that sidechain makes on this project. Now this is with sidechain. Now let's talk about how we did that. So what I have here, I already have these pre-routed, but I have my kick right here, and we can hear what that sounds like if we go over to pattern 3. Super simple groove. How you actually route that kick, let me just show you real quick. You can either choose right here the 1, and that'll route it to the mixer track number 1, or you can select it like so, and then you can control L, and it's already linked, so you're not going to see that, but that will then link it. You can also, while it's selected, right click it, go to channel routing, and route selected channels to this track. And now we have the kick routed to channel 1 or track 1. So now what we do, now that we have audio here, we want to route it to whatever we want sidechained. So how you do that are these arrows at the bottom of each track. So while you have kick selected, that's important. The kick needs to be selected. You can see it's selected because it's highlighted. These arrows down here, you route it to whatever you want to be sidechained. And when you actually do that, it'll route like this. And what this means is that the audio from track 1 is going to be coming through these tracks as well and going through that effects chain. We don't want that. We just want the signal. So let me show you what that sounds like if, for example, we forgot to do that. You can hear the kick is getting all of these effects, and that's not what we're looking for. So let me turn these down real quick, and let's get into the actual sidechaining. All you have to do is, while that's routed, you open up Fruity Limiter, and we can actually let's just open up a new one so I can kind of start from scratch and show you how to do it. So to use Fruity Limiter exclusively as a compressor, there's some things you're going to need to do because it is a limiter as well. So what you need to do is take this ceiling and turn it all the way up. And then you take this attack, turn it all the way down. Now what that's going to do is it's going to completely disable the limiter so that we're only using the compressor in Fruity Limiter. Super important, otherwise it will also be limiting your sound. I get a lot of questions about this when people first try this out, and that is why it's affecting your sound, is because it's limiting it. We'll go ahead and solo these. So that's without the sidechain, and how you actually tell the limiter what to affect the signal by is this sidechain parameter right here. So you're going to select 1 because there's only one thing routed to the sidechain right now. If you had multiple things, which you can totally do, you can select exactly which track you want to be affected by. So we have track 1. And you can see nothing's happening yet. And that's because our threshold is turned up. Everything above this line is going to be affected and compressed and ducked. So you'll hear that. And the ratio is going to increase the amount of compression, the ratio of the compression. The knee is actually how quickly that compression transitions. I've read it in the manual. It says it's how quickly it transitions from 0 to 100 in that compression. So it can kind of help you shape that compression. And then we have our envelope as well. This is how long it takes for it to get to that 100%. Just think of it like ADSR for the actual shape of the sound. And then sustain is a little confusing to me, I'll be honest, but what it says is it averages out the RMS of your signal, and the sustain is how long it tries to hold that average. So if you have this long, it's actually going to be quieter because it is averaging the quieter sounds too. The best advice I have for this is just do it by ear. Because you have so much control over the shape, you can really get it exactly how you want. How we actually got this on everything is we have a fruity limiter on each track, and that's totally an option to get things sidechained. But there's actually something really cool you can do in FL Studio, and that's create a sidechain rack so that you can send everything to that rack and have it all be sidechained by the same limiter, has the exact same sidechain shape. And it's a pretty cool option, so let me show you how to do that. So I'm just going to take insert 18, and I'm going to rename it to sidechain. Okay, we're going to unmute it, and what I really like to do here is use the dock to option. If we dock it to the right side of the mixer, you can see it is now here permanently. No matter where we scroll, the sidechain just stays right here. And I find that super handy. So if we turn off all the limiters on these guys, no sidechain, you can hear it. What you want to do is you want to take all 4 of these. These are what we want to be sidechained. We unroute them from the master. And so now we have no audio from any of those because they're not going out to the master, but we actually route it to the sidechain. And now what's happening is that signal is coming through each of these individually, going through their FX chains, and then all going out to this track to be sidechained. And so then you can open up Fruity Limiter. Let's route the kick. Again, you have track 1 selected. You go down here, you click the arrow. Make sure it's turned down to 0%. Then you go to sidechain, limiter, and now it's probably going to be on 5. No, then it's going to be on 1. There you go. So now you can see that's clearly a kick. And yeah, that's how I sidechain in FL Studio. If you have any questions about it at all, please let me know. Happy to help. And yeah, if you guys would like maybe presets, let me know that too. I've been thinking about opening up a Patreon, getting that running so that I can upload some presets, maybe some synths, some drum packs, you know, something like that. So let me know if that interests you guys. And I'll see you later.